move on to the next item. Report items. Report on accountability ratings.
Okay. I'm gonna ask Becky Saldivar to. We have a PowerPoint. Becky is the Director of Accountability and Assessment for the district, and she's gonna go over the ratings, and then go over how the state comes up with the ratings. I think that everybody is aware of the ratings that have come out, academically unacceptable at the campuses, at the district level. After she does the presentation, I will also then go over the plan that we have developed as a district for how we plan to move forward as far as a very strategic plan, step-by-step plan for academic improvement, the goals, the vision that we have for the district, so that we know where we're going and how we're planning on achieving some achievement by the students, some learning, and so I'll allow Mrs. Saldivar to do that. And so if you board members have any questions as you go through, what I want to do is give y'all a handout so y'all can follow along. It'll be up on the screen also. So,
Becky Saldivar, I'm the Director of Assessment and Accountability for the district. The accountability ratings that we're going to talk about today are the state accountability ratings, and I have tried to distill it down and just give you the main facts. There is a whole lot more data, and believe me, if you want it, I'll give it to you. I doubt you want that much because I have notebooks full of different, breaking down and disaggregating different things. When it comes to accountability, it really is one of those things that you need somebody to help you interpret all of the stuff. I have two big manuals when it comes to accountability that deal with, just the state one, and there's lots of reading and lots of interpreting, and they sometimes give us a little bit of information at a time to understand it all. There were some changes this year, and I think that I probably say that every year. There are changes in the accountability system every year, and the biggest changes is about to come about next year. But I wanted to just go over the report, just like I said, hitting the high points. But I do have, the actual reports from the state, they also are available on the TEA website. You can go look it up yourself also, but I can provide those for you if you'd like me to. As far as the report, we do get one every year in August. The report is based on 5 areas. 3 of these areas count for us, but really the one that means the most or that carries the most weight are the tax performance, the tax test scores. This year they have added ELL progress, and ELL is our English language learners. They've added in that for our students who come in from another country, usually it's from Mexico and speak Spanish, we give them a test called the TELPAS, and that's factored in this year and never has been before. Committed performance is a ranking of our students who made the highest on the test. For each test is different, but it's in that, usually like if you think of it in percentage rating term, like 90 above, your committed performance students. So we, they also are going to give us a performance indicator for that also. Then completion rate, our graduation completion rate, and the annual dropout rate of 7th to 8th graders. Ours is 0, so it's not really factored into ours at all. There are 35 measures altogether, but we were this year evaluated on 24 of those measures. Now, as you know, school districts are ranked in these 4 rankings: exemplary, recognized, academically acceptable, and academically unacceptable. On the AEIS report, they use those same indicators for each of the measures. So you'll have the measure, and then next to it will say whether that's in the exemplary category, recognized, acceptable, or unacceptable. Of our 24 measures, one of them was exemplary. 7 were recognized in that percentage area. 16 unfortunately, the thing that makes our whole school district, academically unacceptable were the 7 measures that, we're going to.
Let's stop right there, because I think that's an important factor to point out. Okay, there's 24 measures, okay? And so if you add up 24 measures, 7 of the 24 were unacceptable. So that means that you do the math there, you have, what, 17? Is that right? There were. Yes. No, there's 24, 17 that were acceptable or better.
Yeah.
But because there were 7 of them that were unacceptable, okay, that makes the state give you an unacceptable rating.
Right, as a whole.
Okay, as a whole, so.
And as I said a while ago, the accountability system changes every year, whether it's just they're raising the percentage that you have to make for passing. They've done all sorts of things throughout the year. Basically, we play a new game, every year, new rules every year. But they keep those same rate. This year, the 3 big changes that affected lots of school districts, and I'm going to show you that just in a minute, not just us. But the one that hurt us probably the most from last year to this year is they discontinued the use of the Texas Projection Measure, or TPM. That particular measure helped us because it showed kids that were on grade level and had improved one whole grade level. Sometimes you may have a student who may not improve a whole grade level from one year to the next according to their system. But if that student does, then they would basically give them credit, as if they passed for those kids who did make it through the game. And our school district was working on that improvement. It really helped us a whole lot last year and probably would have this year also, even though they didn't give us the data to make a comparison. Another thing that is different, and they have been facing this in for the last few years, but now every single student counts in accountability. Used to, our students who were beginning language learners who just came from another country and were trying to get used to, the language, they didn't count against us or for us. And then also some of our students who struggle, our special ed students, if they took a tax modified exam, which is like a tax test, it's on grade level, but it's used, it just has some simpler language and some different things they use to accommodate. And then also our students who take the tax alternate. Those are our students who are in our life skills class. Some of them are actually even homebound. So every single one of our students, regardless, counts this year, and they have not even passed. The standards for tax science and mathematics both increased by 5 points each, which that's pretty typical. We kind of gone up each year. Some of the other ones that I have up there, they didn't really apply to us, so I just wanted to kind of hit the high points, and the ones that are in red are the ones that really affected us. Like I said, statewide, it made an impact, primarily that taking away the TPM, but then also the fact that everyone counts now. And you can kind of see here on the table the difference between last year. Last year in 2010, there were only 22 unacceptable districts throughout the state. This year there are 88. As far as campuses go, it went from 127 campuses last year to like 500 and something this year. So huge, huge difference. As far as academically acceptable, last year there were 294. This year there were 655. The recognized, last year there were 607. This year there's 242. Flip-flop. I think this is very telling also. There were 241 exemplary districts last year and 61 this year. So we were not the only ones that felt the effect and saw a reduction in our rating because of not being able to take that credit for kids who did make growth and did have growth. For years they've been trying to get a growth measure going, but it just was something that the Commissioner of Education couldn't, quite swing for this year. And now that they're changing everything, he still wants to put something like that in there. But at this point, I have no real idea, firm idea of what the STAR accountability system is going to look like. There was a transition document, 480 pages he put out in December. I'm not going to say I read it word for word, but I looked through quite a few, and I'm not sure we're going to have a whole lot of answers until it'll probably be this time next year before we know anything.
Do you know how many measures they're getting out?
Well, on the last one, it said going up from 35 to 40, but they haven't told us what those measures are. So this year, we get to play a game with not knowing what any of the rules are. it's difficult. But, you know, I know some of the measures that they're gonna include are the career, top measures that they're gonna put in there for next year. But again, we won't know anything firm for quite a while. So, anyway, just wanted you to see the impact that the changes this year made statewide. All right, these are some of the measures. These are the ones that counted. If there's a little dot there or dot by dot, you'll notice that means there weren't enough in that population for it to count, so it wasn't ranked. But the ones that we do have in that category, that's what they made. So this is all students, and every one of our students is counted in these, and it's from 3rd grade through 11th grade or exit level. So it's really everybody. Like I said, they do break them down. So there is the, breakdown of every single campus and things like that. They do put grade levels together, but there's one for each campus. But we need to go to grade level. I have that data also. So it can get very complicated very quickly. But as a district, these are our measures. The first one, of course, reading. You have to have a minimum of 70% passing on reading, writing, and social studies. So as you can see, we were able to meet all of those, and quite a few have, exemplary and recognized, they're all acceptable in these 3 subject areas. Unfortunately, the ones that gave us the most trouble were in math and science. This is also pretty typical across the state. It, one of those things that lots of students and lots of districts struggle with is the math and science. They did, like I said, raise the measures. Last year you had to have a minimum of 60 in math and 55 in science, and this year we have to have a minimum of 60 and 65. So there were quite a few of our, subpopulations and populations that counted. The all students, that's everybody, but they do break them down, but they count every single one. They don't just go to the all students on all these things. They're going to look at every one of your subpopulations. And the last one, the economically disadvantaged, you all know that we have a huge population, so it's almost kind of like they count twice because we have so many students. So they count in all these other places and then the all students, but then they have a whole other category in there themselves. These are the measures. I wanted to include them just so you understand that they're on there and that's what's on the report. These weren't used against us or for us because they would only be used to determine. It's kind of like a tiebreaker, I guess, between recognized and exemplary. If you have scores that are up that high, if one of these measures you didn't make, cut the mustard, then you could get bumped down. If you're exemplary, you have to go to recognize. But they do provide the data for us, and I thought it was very interesting. Committed performance, like I said, is the our students who made the high score on there, and we did pretty well, 17%, and 12%, 10%, 6%. That's our kids who did pretty well on the test. The ELL progress indicator, again, that's our English language learners, and that's the self-pass reading test, and we did pretty well on that also. So that's very good compared to a lot in the state. That really is. I know 59% like, well, that's not very well, but it really is. And when you think about it too, we're lucky they can. Some of them can do any level. I give the self-pass test myself sometimes too. As a coordinator, I sometimes have to do small tests like that, and so I'm giving those tests to the kids, and they take them online. And bless their hearts, there are some of them that they don't know how to move the thing forward. They have trouble even with those kind of and. A lot of times I'll have to have somebody come in and read the directions to them in Spanish because they don't even understand enough English to get to the directions to understand how to take the test. And it's all in English. Once the directions are over, the entire reading test is in English. So it's a real challenge for some of our kids. Of course, we don't have any dropouts in the 7th and 8th grade. We have very good completion rates. And I think that really, says a lot about us that, 93% of our kids, and this doesn't count the fact that we have a lot of kids who, now are coming back to our career academy, things like that. I don't take into effect that. So, I feel like that we do a really good job of making sure that kids get through school. Unfortunately, one of the biggest barriers is the tests themselves. We may have done everything we could to get them all the credits that they need, but if there's just even one test that they haven't been able to pass before they graduate, then they don't get to, they're not one of our completions. Are there any questions? I know it's lots of numbers. Like I said, I have many more,